Hi everyone, Eric Nelson here once again, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. For today, I am back with another book review on J.V. Carr's Patty Cakes and The Stolen Ball, or should I say, my review of a cute, nostalgic, smart, and tearful children's book. Now, why do I use those words to describe this book? Well, I use the word cute to describe all of the actual characters because not just the children's, not just the young characters in this book, but also the grown adults in this book are really cute. And what I mean by that is not cute by their physical appearance, but I like how they are all sweet and innocent and just plain loving, and which is pretty typical in children's books and in even children's movies and TV shows. I mean, you know, that it seems like these characters are just so innocent that you just wish that you were a part of their lives or a part of their or a part of their living environment. I mean, even though that this story is only about 50 pages long, I mean, it would probably make anybody just want to live for those 50 pages in a sweet, a non-violent world rather than a realistic world. Now, I'm not saying that we should be hoping that for one day because that isn't a reality, but this book definitely gives you a break from the harsh realities. Now, I also describe this book as nostalgic because I'm sure that when we were young kids, we all read a book like this. So, with that being said, let me give you the main summary of this book. The main character is named Patricia Lowry, also known as Patty Cakes. And it seems like, and even though she looks cute and innocent, she appears to be sort of like she appears to be somewhat like Dennis the Menace or Beaver in Leave It to Beaver, because wherever she goes, something bad happens, where something goes missing, or something happens to someone, and they all turn their heads and point to Patty Cakes. Well, in this case, her big brother's lacrosse ball is missing, and of course, all eyes are on her. And not only does she have to convince her family that she's not the culprit, she has to help find the ball, which of course would help prove her innocence. Well, I know that doesn't seem like a real strong um, plot device, or it doesn't seem like a real problem, but when you're a young kid, it really does. And it sort of reminds you that when you were a kid, you took problems like that seriously. So it's really a yearbook, or it is a yearbook, and it gives you a sense of deja vu, or a different kind of deja vu. Now, now this book is also smart because of how J.V. Carr writes this book. Now, I'm not saying that now it takes not just a, a great writing skill, but it also takes hard work to, I wouldn't say downgrade your writing skills so that you can make children understand your work, but you really sort of have to interpret your own your own sense of writing so that children can understand, but not by but not by downgrading how you write, because if you did that, then you would be insulting children's intelligence. Children are not dumb. They just have to read stories that look easier to read, and I think that J.B. Carr did a masterful job at that. And it is also, and from my point of view, it is a little tearful because it just simply reminds you of the simpler times as a young kid. And of course, as adults or teenagers, or like old teenagers, we all, hope that, or we all wish that we can go back to that time whenever we encounter difficulties as adults. Well, now of course that will never happen, but if you really feel like going back to your young innocent times, read this book. It will definitely help you, and it will also put your nerves at ease, because once you've read Patty Cakes' problem and know that her problem really isn't that big of a deal, you will probably know that the problems that you are experiencing aren't that big either. So I hope that you get this book anywhere, and I hope to see you all at the bookstore or the iBookstore.